have a shot at this thing. No question about it. We'll find out how things play out here, but if she can stay on the back bumper, she'll win it, no problem. But a lot of things can go wrong in the span of one of these races. The Polaris has won the last 3 rounds going back to Reno. Trevor Layton back-to-back wins, Reno and Glen Helen, and then Ronnie fresh off of a win at Glen Helen as well. So the Polarises have certainly shown some speed here as of late. Dan Kelly jumps to the outside there with that green Can-Am, but not able to take advantage of a position.
Yeah, Ronnie Anderson, like you said, he needs to win this race for sure, and he needs Corey Weller to have some issues if he wants to win this championship. Corey Weller not so often makes a mistake on the racetrack. She told me earlier today that her plan is to keep Ronnie in sight. If I can stay on this back bumper, as you mentioned, then we'll be fine for the championship. Play it safe, because we want to win the war. The battle would be nice, but we want to take home the war. Yeah, and this is a home track for her. They've run a ton of regional races here, a ton of national events here as well. She knows this place like the back of her hand, but as does Ronnie. So everybody out here in the field has had some pretty good experience here for the most part at Chandler. Elliott Watson, always a tough player, and he's in the hunt for a championship in the Pro Buggy category as well. Currently holding down second place. Corey Weller there in third place. She's fine right where she's at if she can stay out of trouble. Yeah, Elliott Watson coming off his first podium of the year where he finished third most recently at Glen Helen. And, you know, he's shown some speed this year. Last year was the first year in the category for him, so his sophomore season showing some speed here in 2019 and has been a player on occasion, that's for sure. Caution flag coming out here as Ronnie had built a sizable lead. And it looks like Dan Kelly will show up here on camera. He's lost a left rear. Day is done early. Making his 5th start of 2019. Here's a look at it, middle of your screen. In through the right-hander there. And there goes the left rear. Looks like a couple of studs might have been broken off there as well. Of course, the first thing that goes through your mind is, did somebody forget to tighten up the lugs? And I'm going to tell you, if that's your job right now, you're sweating it out. It's an easy thing to do as well. I mean, it really is. It's sad to say, but it's very easy to miss something like that. So, with that said, we're going to spend a little bit of time with the Anderson brothers. Learn a little bit more about them.
I'm RJ Anderson. I've been racing Razors for going on my 11th year now.
Hey guys, I'm Ronnie Anderson. I race 2019 Turbo S and Lucas Oil Off-Road, as well as a RS1 in the World Series. What I like racing the Polaris Razor over any other manufacturers is that it's so race ready. My Turbo S for Lucas Oil, it's a really competitive class with a lot of different manufacturers. It's pretty stock, bone stock, engine, trans, suspension pieces, so pretty cool that you can come race out of the gate with a pretty stock car.
Yeah, what's rad about it is I would say my car is about 80% stock. There's no doubt about that the UTV scene is booming. The manufacturer support that Polaris and all these brands are offering, all the sponsorship opportunities, it's what's keeping motorsports growing. The best bang for your buck. You can go to a dealership, you can finance this car, you can go out, have fun with your buddies. Next weekend, slap a couple stickers on it and go racing. For the price point, you cannot beat the dollar per fun aspect ratio in the UTV.
Yep, super happy to be a part of a manufacturer company with Polaris Razor, and just their help and support. When we break something, they take it back to the factory and study it so they can make their cars stronger. So super cool to be helping them out and have them helping us out with smaller parts and stuff like that.
And I think that's why UTVs are so desirable is if you do happen to go out on a weekend, have a tip over, need some parts, there's dealerships all across the nation that carry these things in stock. They can get a part to you that same day. It's the standard of how well these machines are built. It's crazy. The aftermarket is really complaining now because the cars are so good from the factory. And I'm super proud to be involved with the brand that's setting the bar for all these years.
And a good look there at Ronnie Anderson and his Polaris Razor. Right behind him, Elliott Watson, as the Lucas Oil General Tire Toyota Tundra Pace truck pulls off out of the way, hands the field over to Ronnie. Will it enter the acceleration zone, and then it will be up to him on when he would like to hit the throttle. The rest of them fan out. And they'll restart just as they ended up there. Trevor Layton back there in 4th place behind Corey Weller. Can be a tough player for sure as we look out of the back of Elliott Watson at Corey Weller. Corey did have a mechanical at Estero Beach. Round 4 was the second day at Mexico, and she ended up in 13th. So that's why I say anything can happen along the way, and starts to stick the nose down in there underneath Watson and thinks better of it. Why take a chance?
Yeah, for Corey Weller, like I said, her plan is pretty simple. Just kind of finish where she started. If she can take advantage and make a move, then she'll do it. But sometimes when you're out on the racetrack and you decide to play it safe, that's when the problems happen.
Yeah, you can get out of your rhythm. I agree with you 100%. She's trying to set up Watson there just a little bit, but plenty of breathing room. But she stays right in that gap. I'm sure that her spotter, which is probably her husband, Jason Weller, who's competed out here in the Production 1000 class, I'm sure he's on the radio with her telling her, hey, man, you're in a sweet spot right there, no pressure behind. Don't make any mistakes here and put yourself in a bad position as Trevor Layton gets up on the bike. But right here, Elliott Watson runs that high line. She's running that low line, and she's got to be thinking, man, I could pass him. And I got to tell you, if you're going to make a pass on somebody and not worry, it's probably Elliott Watson. He's a very clean racer.
Yeah, and there is Corey Weller closing in on the back bumper there as treacherous turn one starts to run up a little bit. Doesn't really affect the turbos that much compared to, say, the trucks or even the buggies. They are carrying a lot of speed, don't get me wrong, but when they run that low part of the racetrack, they're so narrow, unless they miss entry, they usually don't have a problem getting up in that loam.
And there it is, a nice move, nice and clean. Elliott Watson gives her plenty of room to not interrupt that run for the championship. She'll pick up another spot right there on the back bumper, keeps her honest for sure. And now Ronnie Anderson is only putting 2 points on her, so a 9-point spread coming in right now would be 7 points to Corey Weller as it stands.
So Elliott Watson from second back to third, and like I said, they've been pretty good this year compared to their first year last year. They made a lot of changes, tested new shock package this year, computer setup, and it's made a big difference. Meanwhile, up front, on cruise control, Ronnie Anderson trying to pull away.
Yeah, turn two, providing a little bit of excitement there for Corey Weller. She got up on the bike for just a moment. Turn 1 and 2 have been running up here, and turn 2 has a little bit of banky to it, so it'll bite you pretty quickly. Turn 3, typically the treacherous turn here at this track, but it has really flattened out and laid down nicely as the caution flag will come out. Let's take you back here and show you the pass for second place. It was a beautiful setup by Corey Weller.
Yeah, she really did a great job right there. And like you said, Watson knows she's running for a championship. She had position on him here through the right-hander. Got right in front of him, got that thing turned. Watson tried to cut back to the inside, which set him up for the outside here. And then tried to go inside coming off of turn 4. Couldn't quite do it, but just another textbook pass by the pro, Corey Weller.
Dragonfire sponsorship on that Can-Am for her. Doing what she needs to do to secure this championship here today. Another good look there at the Lucas Oil General Tire Toyota Tundra Pace truck. They'll lead them back around here. We'll get them restarted in just a moment. Stay with us. We'll be in Corey Weller in second place, looking for her championship in this turbo category. Green flag flies. Trevor Layton on the throttle quick, out and around Elliott Watson, who had a tough restart, and here comes Van Beekem right along with Trevor Layton.
Yeah, Corey Weller for a moment took a peek to the inside on Ronnie Anderson, but another great restart for Anderson. It looks like Weller has closed in as they tackle the General Tire ski jump, coming downhill into the right-hander. Now that's a no-touch zone. I say that in quotes because we do see a lot of action there, if you will.
And this is where things can get a little more tense for Corey Weller, trying to run a safe race here and be smart, because Trevor Layton is aggressive. And I promise you, he'll want to take over that second position if he's got enough car to get up there and put some pressure on her. So she'll rely on her spotter here. Once again, no pressure from behind as it stands right now. But she'll need to maintain some pace here to stay in front of Trevor.
Yeah, and Ronnie Anderson, you can see the gap between first and second, how they approach turn number 2. Corey going in a little bit lower. Ronnie kind of running around the outside there.
And it was really a safe entry there for Corey Weller. You can see she didn't pitch it in at all. Just driving through the turn. She is not taking any chances here to damage that car or flip it.
Ronnie Anderson here through turn to number 4. We'll head to the Geico tabletop here on the front straightaway at Wild Horse Pass, right in front of the main grandstand area. Nice super clean speed shot there. 4 laps to go here in the Turbo UTVs.
Good look out of the back of Chance Haugen's machine, and has done a great job this year. Picked up a couple of podiums along the way. Has been in the top 10 all year long. Top 5, 8 rounds.
Yeah, and picked up the 2019 Southern California Turbo Regional Championship. Already sewed that up, so congrats to him.
Falling behind him, the 764, that is Robert Van Beekem, has been a factory driver for Polaris for a number of years, has had a lot of support from them, has won championships, has won a ton of races, an absolute veteran out here, and has been working with Yaw Power Suspension and Paul Yaw as of late, and starting to show some speed. Was fast at Glen Helen, and once again showing up here inside of the top 5.
Yeah, his best weekend of the year was the 2 rounds at Glen Helen, 4th and 2nd. So we go back up front to Ronnie Anderson coming off that big win at Glen Helen. Van Beekem finished right behind him, but like I said, a lot with Elliott Watson. It was an up-and-down season for Ronnie Anderson last year, and coming here full-time in the turbo category. We've seen him kind of calm down as a driver, both in the Pro Light category as well as the turbo UTVs, and it just really seemed to elevate his driving style and elevate this team, and he's just gotten better and better each and every race.
Yeah, man, I really couldn't agree more. A completely different driver here in 2019 from his previous years, where
For Ronnie Anderson.
Would be his 2nd win on the season if he can put together one more clean lap. Corey Weller doing exactly what he just stays right there, relatively close. Won't get caught up in something if he does make a mistake, and no pressure behind, just to wheel this thing home through 2 more turns.
Yeah, Ronnie did what he had to do, laid down fast time in qualifying, got out front, led the halfway point, and looks like he's going to pick up the win. So he'll win the battle here, but the war will go to Corey Weller as Anderson brings it off the final corner and picks up the win here in Chandler.
Corey Weller across right behind him, 4 wins on the season, 3 quick laps and 3 poles. It's her 6th podium, so consistent all year long as she grabs the championship, and 2 of them with a thumbs up to each other. Great racing season. And a good look there at the Rockstar back Polaris Razor. We'll talk to both of them when we come back in just a moment.
Keep the number 1 on Corey Weller's machine. Corey, congratulations on a remarkable season. You are the champion once again. How's it feel?
It feels really, really good. We were scrapping, towards the end of the season. We had really good momentum going in, and it was like coasting downhill after you run out of gas. I just needed to just get this race done, stay as close to Ronnie as possible. He had the fastest car out here. I had to be fast enough and lock it up, and that's what we did. And, I can't be more excited for Can-Am. I'm excited to get another championship for them, for Dragonfire Racing, for full throttle batteries, for my guys at the shop who prep on this car and work on it. Everybody here, Lucas Oil, all our great sponsors, Demon Axles, Jason, my husband, for putting in so much time at Glen Helen. Like, his overtime at Glen Helen alone was probably worth like a year's worth of work. So I'm stoked. I'm excited.